Um, but I did have one last question for Zilla, and I'll step down if somebody wants to come up. So Zilla, Peace, if you're still listening, you said, well, I do have this question. So, do you feel like single mothers, they're single mothers, um, that it's either their fault or just kind of like it's their own kind of choice for being a single mother? Do you feel that way?
My bad. Was that for me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I tried to,
Yeah.
I tried to say your name so you could chime in, but yeah, I was
Yeah,
asking.
yeah,
I
I
said, do
heard you. You
you?
say something about single mothers. I apologize. Say that
Yeah, no
again.
problem. I was asking, do you feel like single mothers, it's kind of quote unquote like their fault, or they made the decision to be a single mother? Do you feel that way?
Oh no, absolutely not. I think that it's an irresponsibility on both parts. I think that there's some situations where a woman kind of poured into the wrong man, and unfortunately, it has pushed her down the path um, where she's going to be on that path alone. So
Yeah,
I'm just speaking from my own perspective. I'm a single father
yeah.
myself. So, I'm not signing up to help a woman take care of a child that the own father doesn't want to take care of.
But that
That's
but
just
that's a
me.
question
I'm,
that I have to ask as well. Not to cut you off. I just didn't want to lose train of thought because I'm glad that you said that. So you said that you don't want to date or engage with a woman who has children and you don't want
yep.
to take care of the kids, blase blase. But you expect to date a woman with no kids and things like that, or who does have an active father in their child's life. And but would you expect for them to care and love for your child the same? Because there's no way that you can separate the two. Because me personally, I wouldn't, if I have children or things like that, I wouldn't want to bring someone around my child that doesn't love them as much as they love their own child, or love them as much as they love me. So I feel like you shouldn't put a barrier up against that when you're dating someone, just because, just to even a score of how you feel. Does that make sense of what I'm saying?
Yeah, ma'am. So I think what you're missing is that the dynamic is different when a man. I'm a single father. I have full custody. I get child support. Doesn't get used in my home. So it's different. I don't require a woman that I'm in a relationship with to come be a mother to my child. Most of the times when you're a single man and you deal with a woman that's a single mother and the child's father is not in the home, you have to be a fatherly figure to them. And ultimately, if you're not a man that's developed enough to be a father, we ain't even talk about being a man to be a father. It's just not gonna work. So for me, as a man that knows that I want to pour every bit of resources into my daughter as I can, or any child that I actually father as much as I can, because I'm gonna leave this earth one day and I want the people that are actually from me to benefit from it. I'm not saying that I would never pour into a child that's not mine. I'm never saying that. But if you're asking me if I'm going to make a choice, it's not going to be a single mother. Period.
Yeah.
Unless her children are of adult age, because I'm 36 years old. So if your kids are 16 and above, 15 and above, yeah, we can talk because your kids are at adult age. They know who their father is. They're not worried about me being their father. They're not worried about me providing for them. And when I do something for them, they can actually acknowledge what I'm doing for them and be thankful for it. I'm not gonna do that for children who don't know the difference between a father and a man that's just in their in a mother's life. I'm
Can
not
I
gonna do
say
that, and I
something,
would never
please?
advise a man, if you're listening, to ever do that. Period. It's not
Can
gonna
I
So
say
work.
wait,
something,
because
please?
that
May I say something, please? I just want to say, so Zilla, I have no children. Um, if I were to get into a relationship with a man that has a child, my immediate ideology would be, hey, are you ready to be a mother? Because you're going to have to show up 100% for this child. For me, that's natural. Like it makes sense because I'm in a relationship. Let's say you and I were in a relationship. I'm in a relationship with you. I want you to succeed. I want your child to succeed. So I have to show up for that child. Whether or not I have children, that's inconsequential. If I choose to be with you, I have to show up for that child because that child needs like a mother figure. I may not be their mother ever, but they need a mother figure. So if I decided, okay, I love you, let's be in a relationship, I have to show up for your child. There is no loving you without loving your child. To me, Like those things are not mutually exclusive because you already have a child. So to love you is to love your child and to show up and to be there for you and your child. Because if I want the best for you, of course I want your child to do well. So I have to show up as a parent. I have to grow up in every way that I can and be as loving and as caring and as nurturing for that child as possible, right?
But that's different from between you're making that conscious choice to know that this man's a father. I'm stepping into this child's life. First of all, my child has a mother. So if we're speaking about me or we're speaking about in general, I can speak about me only. I can't speak about in general. My child has a mother. She goes to her mother's house very often. She just came back from her mother's house about 8 hours ago. So that's a little bit different. But I understand what you're saying, Hope. I'm not requiring, and a lot of men who have their children in their home, they're not requiring a woman that they're dating to be a motherly figure to their children, whether the mother's there or not. And in the dynamics of a relationship, when a man has to step in for what another man doesn't do, I'm just saying that it just isn't beneficial for you as a man. I'm a father. I'm telling you, I would not do it because you have to deal with so much. You have to unpack so much that it just isn't worth it. Period. I just don't think it is. And I'm not saying that these women are less than anyone. I'm not saying that you should disrespect them. I'm not saying that you should marginalize them. I'm just saying that if this woman has a young child that needs guidance and you as a man don't have the tools to do it, why sign up for it? And that's the problem. These women have already made an irresponsible decision to have children by a man who doesn't even want to be there. And you as a man who don't want to be a father to these children, but you want to deal with the mother, how does that make any sense? So yeah, if you make a conscious decision as a man to deal with a woman that has children, of course you must pour into that child just as much as you pour into the mother. But ultimately, as a man, if you're going to leave a legacy or if you're going to want to raise children out of your own, why? Why would you ever start with a woman who already has a family made? It doesn't make any sense.
So can I say this, Zilla? Because I asked the question, and I respect your point of view. Like, I'm not gonna ever tell somebody their point of view or their opinion is wrong because that's your point of view and that's your opinion. But what I'm getting at is now you did say that you're a single father and that your daughter, she does have a mother, and that's fantastic. But I think what I'm trying to get at, and from what I heard what Hope's saying, is that let's just say that you do meet a wonderful woman in all aspects. She checks everything off your list, no kids, blah blah blah, and you guys do get together. You guys are a family. You guys are dating. You guys are living together full time and things like that. Your child's mother is going to have her child at some time, and then you also are going to have the child. I'm saying, like, why put a barrier in between that relationship? That she may want with your child, like while she is there. Because in that sense, it's kind of like your baby mother, since you guys have to kind of share custody, or you say you have full custody, but since she does visit your the mom sometimes, and your girl, your wife or whatever is there full time, then why not allow her to be the full time mother if that's what she's offering and that's what she wants to do because she loves you and she loves your child just as much. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm asking, like I'm hoping that you aren't putting a barrier in between that because I think that's really important. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't want anybody in your presence or around your child that doesn't love your child as much as you, if that makes sense.
Facts.
So
No, it does make
okay.
sense. Yeah, yes, ma'am. 100% makes sense. I would never pick a partner that would look at my child as if she's not an extension of me. You're 100% right. I would never deal with a woman that wouldn't want to be a motherly figure to my child. That's the whole point of this. If I'm gonna speak for me. I don't want me. I don't want to be a part of a woman's situation that she has a man who's in and out of her life. We're talking about the father of the children. It's a negative impact. I have to deal with the trauma of how that affects her. I have to deal with the situation of those children having to ping pong between the actual father and the stepfather or the man that's trying to be like it's a dynamic that a lot of women don't like to expand on because they think that for the simple fact that man is absent that he can't be disruptive. I'm sorry, he's very disruptive. So if I'm going to choose a woman to build with and want to go forward with in life, me as a man who doesn't require a woman to be a mother to my child, it's going to be a motherless woman. But if I do get in a relationship with a woman that has children, of course I'm going to be there for her children just like they are mine. But if you're asking me the ideal situation and what I would go for, it's going to be a woman whose children are damn near at adult age, or she don't have children. I'm not dealing with a woman that got a child in diapers. I'm not dealing with a woman who has a baby father who wants to interject in a relationship and be negative and be disrespectful and put you in a compromised situation where I can lose my freedom because I'm trying to protect you. So therefore you take me away from my child that needs me. Absolutely not. And that's the dynamic that a lot of women don't get. As a man, we have to protect our women. We have to protect these children. So if a man is compromising her and her children, what am I left with besides putting myself on the line? And now my child is out of a father because I'm trying to protect a woman and children that are not part of my legacy. That's all I'm saying. So if you're asking me to pick between the two, it's going to be a woman that has adult age children that can understand their father being negative, or a woman who doesn't have children. That's it.
Yeah, and I can understand where you're coming from, and I agree with that as well. Um, and and I'm not gonna say I have a question, but I'm gonna say this something. I'm gonna let it lie, because what you're saying isn't wrong at all. But I do have this thing. So you're saying that you want, for some reason, a child. Well, when you do decide to be in a relationship with someone, you do want a woman with no children, and that's your preference. That's cool. But my thing is, like, what if you do, and do you feel like you may find it tough being with a excuse me, sorry for the noise, being with a woman who, that's me, that's my aunt, I'm sorry for the noise, y'all, being with a woman who doesn't have kids? What if she doesn't know how to be a mother completely? Do you think there will be some barriers and obstacles and things like that? Because wouldn't it be someone who has been a mother before, wouldn't they be able, they may know some things that some woman who hasn't been a mother before, don't you think? So that's what I'm saying, like, maybe let's not shut it down 100%, but if that is your preference, I respect it.
Um, if that woman doesn't know how to be a mother, how can she be any benefit to me that for I don't even need a mother for my child. So if she's a mother and she don't know how to be a mother, there's no benefit to me. Is I can't teach her how to be a mother, just like a mother can't teach me how to be a father, right? So that relationship would be imbalanced, and it'd be imbalanced at that point, right? Because we're both trying to learn how we're going to work with each other. I know how to be a man. I know how to be a father. I don't know how to be a mother, which is why I lean on my mother and my sisters and her mom and my nieces and other women, because there's listen, okay, I'm a father, okay. My daughter's 10 years old, okay. I gotta start talking to her about cycles and shit. You think I want to have this conversation? I don't know nothing about that. Thank God I have her mother and my sisters and nieces to have this conversation. Because do you think I want to have that? What do I know about that, ladies? Like y'all know that. What do I, as a man, know anything about that? I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
So thank God for her mother. Thank God for my sisters. Thank God for my aunt, her auntie. Because man, I'm so ignorant when it comes to that. Like I don't know. They're asking me to buy this type of stuff. I'm like, well, what do you mean? She's 11 years old. She's 10 years. She can get it at any time. I'm like, bro, no, she's not gonna get it till she's 15. I told my daughter, you can't even date until she's at least 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know when you're married. That's when I want to know you're dating. But I'm different. I'm different. I know it's bad. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, like I'm a loving man. I'm a very protective man. Any woman that's in my vicinity, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to lay my life on the line because women are the reason why we can produce this world. I can't make babies. You know what I'm saying? So all I can do is protect myself and protect the children and the people that I love the most. That's all I can do. So if you're asking me to willingly be in a relationship or deal with a woman, there's certain terms and stipulations that I require. And if you don't meet them, we're not even going to progress to the situation where we can have a conversation. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
But
but I understand that. But I want to say this, and I'm going to leave it alone. I just wanted you to be realistic, because let's be realistic here. The viewers that are watching, the people that are in the comments, the people on the panel, just hear me out. Let's be realistic. You're dating a woman. Yes, you did say that your child has a mother in her life, but you guys are dating. You guys are married at this point. You guys live together. Are you saying that since you kind of are you saying, like, okay, it'll be a point to where, let's say that she's cooking dinner, but since she's not in a relationship with your kid, oh, you don't need to make enough for me and just me and you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, think about a situation like that. Or you're saying the cycle, for instance, your child, what if your child is home with you in this situation and she starts her cycle, and you have your, saying your wife there or something like that. That's not your baby mom's, your wife there. wouldn't she kind of step in that role at that moment and, tell her, hey, it's okay, this is what's going on with your body, explain that to her. That's also her so-called, being a mother figure. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, what you're saying is cool, but you do have to understand, like, when you get serious with somebody and you marry somebody, Zilla, you know what I'm saying? Kids or no kids, things like that, it will be times that she will step into that mother figure in that mother role. And I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying, like, you shouldn't say, well, she already has one, you don't have to be it. It's already kind of set in stone there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be situations that come up where it's just like that. You have to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean when I make that statement. So I just wanted you to just keep your open mind on that, because you may, let's say that you do meet somebody, you kind of present this information to her, and let's say she do start being, that she is selfish, and she only sees herself in a relationship with you and not your daughter. That's going to create future problems. So that's what I'm saying. Let's just be realistic, because things will happen, and she will, or you will need a real woman to step in that role and explain to your child what's going on, especially when the cycle comes around, and when it's time to make dinner, or it's time to take her to school, or dance practice, or things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Just keep an open mind, because you do want her to always be in that mother role. Don't even let that woman know when you guys are just dating that she doesn't have to be in that role, because you don't have to say, like, right now you have to be, but just know that you will have to be, because that's just what comes with me as a man. Like, that's all that I'm saying, because there will be situations on a realistic scale, and I hope you don't find that something to disagree about. That's all I'm saying, though. But I'm gonna
No,
digress.
no, Coco, I agree. First of all, I appreciate what you said. And first of all, the reason why I'm like smirking and laughing is, first of all, I grew up in the Midwest. I go very often to Los Angeles. I speak with young children. I speak with gang members. I speak with adolescents. I speak with men who don't have fathers that can be in their lives. So I was smoking earlier, so that's why I keep laughing and giggling. I apologize. That's very rude. I was listening to what you were saying, but it was just more my body couldn't control it, and I apologize. But I agree with what you're saying. I'm never going to say that what I won't do. I won't know until I'm in that situation, and I'm never going to. There's never going to be a situation where I deal with a woman, whether she has young children, older children, or whatever. If I'm dealing with you, I'm going to help you, as a woman. I help children that I don't even know at all. I get paid to do that. So there's absolutely no reason for me never to step in a situation where I wouldn't help a single mother. And that's what I help single mothers every day. I'm not in a relationship with them, but I try to guide a lot of us men in society who don't have fatherly figures, don't have men who have been positive figures in their lives. And, the best thing I can do is tell them as men, you can create your own legacy. And there's nothing wrong with dealing with a woman who has a ready-made family, anything of that nature. But if you're asking me, should these men who don't have the ability to be men yet, should they be stepping into situations where they're going to be asked and commanded to be fathers? I'm going to tell them that this is just a recipe for failure, because, as we get older as men, we learn how to be better. We learn how to be what we need to be. And, I learned at a later age how to be a father. And I had nothing but women around me. And so I agree with a lot of what you're saying, and I'm not shutting that door. I'm not telling you that I would never date a woman that has young children, but ideally, I don't want a woman who has a child in diapers. That doesn't mean I can't fall in love with a woman that has diapers. I'm telling you, I'm gonna set enough barriers and traps, and I'm gonna ask enough questions that we won't even get to a situation where I build enough feelings for her as a woman once I know that her children are a certain age, because I'm like, okay, we're not even gonna go there unless I just literally feel that we can go and progress. That's just how I am as a person. I'm not marginalize her. I'm not telling her that she's less than a person, but you got to understand from my perspective. As a college educated man, as a man that has to do so much, as a man that's responsible for my sisters, for my mother, for my aunties, for my daughter, there's a lot more for me to be responsible for inside of my own family than outside of my own family. And I would hope that you would understand that.